Welcome, everybody. This is the Lynn and Scott Show. I'm Lynn Serrano.
I'm Scott Jones. I'm glad everybody could join us here today on this beautiful Tuesday night. It's beautiful where I am. I don't know about anybody else, but it's a good night.
It is. I was
got echo going on?
I had my phone going on. That's not what I wanted to do there. Well, we have all these awesome people here, so I'm going to keep popping them up like popcorn.
Let's just populate the screen here.
Yeah, there we go. All these awesome people. And last but not least, we've got Miss Farm Girl Edible.com.
Just not those kind of edibles.
Wait, are we missing somebody?
Yeah,
we are. Where did he go?
Lynn, you didn't get everybody.
No, Rex is not. He was back here, and he must. There he is. And he popped back up. And Teodora's here. Oh my gosh, This is so stinking awesome. Oh my gosh, look at all you awesome people here.
Now this show is an absolute testament to the fact that there's nothing good on TV on Tuesday nights. I'm telling you right now.
Oh my gosh.
I am so just happy you guys could all show up here. I hope everybody is doing well.
And we're all going for a hike with Teodora.
Yes, this is awesome. I just want to say that really quick, tomorrow on Find It, we have our one and only Scott Jones on tomorrow. So you'll be up and personal with Mr. Scott tomorrow. So I'm super excited about that. And Scott has another new show that will be on a half an hour after this one's over. So he's a busy boy. So
yeah,
exactly 8 hours a week that he's not on lives.
And I want to just acknowledge last week that I had messed this up, and I'm uploading it right now any second. And Mr. Rex, he was at the Neuroscience Summit this weekend, and he did a great job. So go to the Los Angeles Tribune if you want to see the rewind. So
I'd love to hear, Rex, how that went.
Am I muted?
Yeah.
No, you're there. I want to know. I just want to know how the science.
I'm here. You're right. Yeah, it went fine. It was good. Summits are like what I think of are buffets, meaning there's something for everyone. Not everybody likes everything that's on a buffet, but you find things that you do like. So it gives you that opportunity to try on different people, different thoughts, different concepts, and expose your thinking to other people's thinking that you might not. I had a good time. I had some friends there. Joe Vitale and I got to talk for a while, and Mark Victor Hansen and Mitzi Perdue and I did some stuff together, and as well as some others and some panels. And then I did the close on the third day, the end note, and that was fun. But just so you know, coming up, I'm doing the NLP Masters Summit the 27th through the 2nd of November. So that's coming up. And if you're interested in neurolinguistic programming, same kind of thing. It's going to be people that are good, people not so good, people that you like, people that you don't like. But it's a way to explore and try out different things.
I don't even know what happened here.
People are popping in and out here. I'm not sure what's going on.
Yeah.
Rex, that's great. And it's awesome to participate in those things. I love the exchange of ideas that go on. We've got a global summit coming up in November up in Orlando for addiction and mental health. Awesome. And we have those and there's always somebody or something interesting going on.
Yeah.
And it's really cool that you participate in those things.
Well, the one thing that I do really appreciate is that MoRock and the Los Angeles Tribune has a mission, and that is not to just, share news, but to inspire and motivate people to find the best in themselves and the best of others around them and help make the world a better place. So they have a media outlet with that as its mission, as opposed to, say, the other ones out there that are there just to report bad news. Is really a beautiful thing, and I love being connected in that way.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I know everybody here has had participation in those kind of summits and those kind of conferences. And it's like you said, it's just a great way to exchange ideas. I feel like we're on some psychotic roller coaster here, Lynn.
Merry-go-round.
Yeah. I'm having
Every
fun.
time I look, I'm somewhere else. This is like my worst nightmare. I can't turn my head without seeing myself.
It's like
Sorry,
playing
guys.
cards and going, put the card there and put the card there.
Yeah.
You did it so much, you made people disappear. It was crazy.
No, they disappeared before that even happened. So,
So
anywho,
just say that my stream on my own live stream last week, it died, and then it died today as well. So it's often streamer just craps out, so I have to come back in again.
Yeah, StreamYard also mentioned there's some stuff going on with the Facebook connections too. So yeah, we're looking at some alternatives, aren't we, Scott?
Always looking at alternatives. Always
Yes.
looking at alternatives.
Yes.
And because this is the kind of thing. This proves that we need more of this. We need more meeting of the minds and these kind of roundtable conversations to spark curiosity, to spark to have people asking questions about how they're living and what they could achieve and what they should leave behind. So I think this is great. This is absolutely fabulous. It goes with my mission completely, and I'm glad you guys are all here. But Lynn, what are we talking about this week?
So last week we talked about letting go of the things that don't serve us, and at the end of the show last week we were talking about how we could maximize. And I think Scott kind of Hipster kind of knew what we were talking about. This, if Hipster wants to talk up a little bit about,
he can introduce it then.
Yeah, there you go.
Let's put him on the spot.
Well, yeah, thanks. I really appreciate that, because we were talking about how do you get rid of things that don't serve us. All of a sudden it came, we started talking about limitations, and wouldn't that be great for next week? And I just said, as opposed to looking at limitations, how about if we look at how we max out and go the other side of it? I really don't want to focus on any limitations. I want to focus on how we move forward and how we, give it everything we got, and the potential ramifications of that, I mean, because every time you give it everything you got, it doesn't mean that it all works out exactly the way it's supposed to, I mean, I guess I'm going to start the topic.
Yes,
you're on.
Well, gosh.
I'm sorry. Did you need an intro music or something?
I didn't have my walk-up music, Jonesy. What the hell? Don't you know what I do for a living?
And here's Hipster.
Anyway, there we go. Well, no, but I mean, even just getting getting prepped for tonight from finding the links and seeing how do we max out, for me, it's interesting that I had this conversation over the last couple of days of you give it everything you got every time, because again, if you're in a high intention, low attachment kind of relationship, meaning that your intention is to do the very best you can, to have the very best success you can, to accomplish the very best whatever. The fact is, and if you give up the attachment as to what that is, how it works, who it's with, any and all of those things, to my way of thinking, that's how you max out. You play full out. You do it as good and as hard and as purposeful as possible. Understanding you're going to be off course in life far more than you're ever on course. Mm-hmm. It's not about being off course. It's about learning to be off course less often, less far, and dial it in and bring it back. One of the things that I suggest is that I was asked one day, what's your greatest failure? I said, I haven't had it. And they said, come on, you've never failed at anything? I said, I don't classify it that way. Failing is quitting. That's the only thing that I think is failure. Past that, everything is a learning event. And so I learned to ask 5 questions. What's the lesson? What's the gift? What did I do to create it? How would I modify it next time to make it better? How's it going to serve me the rest of my life? Well, now everything that happens, not everything is going to be positive. There are going to be less than positive things that happen, but when they do, they at least can be classified as a learning event to go on from that point. I don't think anybody ever purposefully does things wrong. I don't think they ever purposefully make stupid decisions. It doesn't say that they don't make stupid decisions. I said I don't think they do it purposely. So then you learn from.
Are we talking about my marriages again? Come on, knock it off.
Well, that is next week's topic.
Scott's married.
Well, actually, no, that's a series. That's the next 3 weeks.
I was just going to say, and the week after that, and the week after that, and the week
And
after
it
that.
starts after we find it tomorrow. And if you can't find it, it will become a series.
No, I just think that if you're going to max out, if you're going to utilize the talents and capabilities that God's granted you fully, you've got to put them in action fully, understanding that not everything is going to work exactly the way you think it is. Actually, probably quite few things are going to work out exactly the way you think they are, but that doesn't mean they're working out in a wrong way. You can't believe God's plan and timing is perfect and that all things work together for your good and then say, well, I'm going to keep it in the bag. Doesn't work that way. You got to let it fly.
You know, I know the next person that's going to be great about talking about this topic.
So you just throw me into the fire, huh?
I love you, Rex.
I love you too, and I love everybody here and the people who are watching. I approach things this way. There's our social conditioning is such.
Wait a minute. Who's tap dancing?
When I heard puppy,
No,
his puppies, his babies.
Oh, okay.
I was typing.
Not my puppies.
Oh, they're not wagging their tail or anything. Anyways,
No,
go ahead.
Okay.
My puppies are sleeping, but I don't. Are you talking about noise or something? Because I don't.
Yeah,
know.
Yeah.
I hear like
Yeah,
tap.
it's all right. It's gone. It's gone.
Oh, but not from this end.
Okay.
No.
Societal conditioning is such that it wants us to blame God, the universe, the government, religion, your ex-wives, your ex-husbands, your children, your bank, economy, whatever it is. It's blame this or blame that. Not my fault, not my responsibility. It's those people over there, it's their fault, or that person bothered me, that's why I did it. We have reasons, excuses, blames, whines, complaints, and all that sort of stuff. I think very much differently, and that is there's an Indian meditation that's based on, it's been around for thousands of years, but it's using Sanskrit or Hindi, which is neti neti, a mantra meditation, and neti neti means not this, not that, or neither this or neither that. So as your thoughts come up, the idea is you think it's not this and it's not that. So if you're blaming things, it's not that, it's not this, it's not that, it's not this. It's really that the power is within and that all is one thing and it's a celebration. And I'm convinced that the reason why people have problems is because they think they have problems. They think they are separate from everything instead of being part of one of all. And so what happens is they try and find ways to make things better. They have formulas and methods and blueprints and procedures and then here's the 57 new ways to do this and another 2,000 ways to do that. When you could laugh and smile and dance and sing your way right into happiness and health and well-being, you don't have to take. Yeah, see, that's not my dog. You have to take. And I celebrate that too. And the point is that far too many people are far too serious about far too many things instead of just being grateful for everything. If everything is a blessing and you can celebrate everything, what you just said was really profound. If all things work together for good, why don't you just accept it as good? And go, wow, I don't know how this is going to work out, but I know it's going to work out for the best. I don't know how the bank is foreclosing on my home. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't have the money, but I know that whatever happens, it's going to be the right thing and it's going to happen in the right time, in the right way, in the right place. And just celebrate all of it. Because if you get caught up in the problem, you're not really doing anything. It's like trying and people keep trying to fix things without fixing themselves first. Be the person for whom everything is a blessing, and then everything is a blessing, and celebrate everything. So
I love that. Scott, you want to pick the next person?
Everybody's eyes kind of went down like, no, don't pick me. It's not dodgeball, people. It's a show. Barry, you look like there's something intelligent just bursting comedy you right now.
It's the glasses. That's all it is. The glasses.
That's what it is. The Wonder glasses.
I love them.
Actually, but the thing what I love is what Scott and Rex put on the table is so key, and I love what both of them said because I fully agree. But one of the words that Scott used that I really want to highlight he said about, and it was in passing, is the word play. And it's actually, it also speaks to what Rex was talking about. We have a bad problem of being too serious, you know. And it's funny, there's in one of the Christopher Nolan Batman movies where the Joker says, "Why so serious?" I love that quote, because the reality is we keep doing that. Why are we being so serious? And yes, tragic in quotes things can happen to us, but it's only tragic if we stay stuck in them. If we, as Scott was saying, you know, if we learn from them, if we grow from them, they're not failures, they're opportunities. And it sounds trite to say it that way, but boy, I look at the failures I've made in my life, and I've had 7 careers, so I know what the failure in quote is. But the reality is I learned something from them, and I still use some of the things I learned back then in my current life. And so for me, this idea of playing, and this is the other part, you know, how do we max out by playing full out? If we play full out knowing that we are one with the world, the universe, God, whatever you want to call it. It's a busy night tonight in this room, all these texts and stuff going on. If we played full out, then it's almost the idea about the joke about you can arrive at the pearly gates dragging your feet, feeling upset and distressed. Like you arrive at the pearly gates sideswiping with the car with your fryer come out of the exhaust, like you just had the best life possible. Why not play full out, even, no matter what level you're at? It doesn't matter how much money you got in your bank, what relationship you have or don't have, where you live. Can you play full out where you are right now? Because that to me is what life is worth living for.
I love that. I love that. And look at Rex is just agreeing with you. Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Did you want to add anything to that, Rex?
Yeah, play your way to enlightenment. Stop taking things serious. I mean, the world is a playground. And one important thing that I know all the panelists know, we are time binders. Meaning we're chronocentric. We think that the time that we live where we are is the right time. We're egocentric, meaning we think that we have the right ideas, and a whole lot more. But we're time binders and we're meaning makers. Before humans were on the planet, there was no meaning in any of the events that happened. If there was a fire, it was a fire. If there was an earthquake, there was an earthquake. If it was a sunny day, it was a sunny day. Good and bad didn't enter into it. And humans assign meaning to things. So if something happens to you, it's just an event that's happening. And then you go, this sucks. This is bad. This isn't what I wanted. This isn't what I planned on. Or, wow, look at how fortuitous this is, how wonderful that is. This is a great thing. We assign the meaning. So if we stop neither this nor that, if we stop assigning meaning, especially meaning that is negative to anything, we're far better off, because we're more resourceful when we're optimistic. We're more resourceful when we're positive. We're more resourceful when we're feeling well-being. We're splitting the right hormones and chemicals. So when we're not, as Scott would say, if you have a low attachment to your problems, if you have a low attachment to difficulty, if you have a low attachment to chaos, you're going to be. I'm sorry, I may have put words in your mouth, Scott, but I assume the less attachment that you have, the freer you are to live your life, successfully or happily. So
I love that. I'm gonna stick Mr. Rizzo in the box here.
Yes.
Not now. I'm busy.
Cheers.
Why so serious?
This is the part of the show where I talk about addictions and
And you got to take care of the people right in your backyard or
That's
so.
right. I'm just saying.
Right.
I'll tell you, this is a serendipitous topic for me, because I've been doing some reevaluation on my life, and I think in the past couple of years I am going through a lot of stuff, but I'm also been my happiest because I made a commitment to myself to live my life more on inspiration rather than ambition. And there's a big difference. There's a huge difference. And I cut out crap like hard work. If you're considering something as being hard or difficult or struggling, there's a very good chance you're not enjoying yourself during the process. And if you're not enjoying yourself during the process of whatever it is you're trying to achieve, you're ripping yourself off. We have a mindset in this country, and it's an addiction, that we put our happiness on hold because we create in our own minds that I won't be happy until I achieve this. I won't be happy until I get to where I want to go. And that's when I'm going to be happy. When I get the respect and appreciation that I think I deserve, when I get what I want and I make enough money, that's when I'm going to be happy. And by doing that, without you even realizing it on an unconscious level, you're putting your happiness on hold. Yeah. And the main purpose in life, our main purpose in life is to be happy. Aristotle said our main purpose and ultimate goal in life is happiness. Everything we want and everything we desire in our lives is based on the fact, I mean, everything. I will challenge anyone on this. Anything that you want it because you think it's going to make you happy or happier than you already are. And I have found that there's a point in my life where I was struggling so hard that it was actually hurting me physically, mentally, spiritually, and every other way you can think of. So when I let go of that and I start doing things because I want to, not because I think I have to, the worth ethic in this, with a lot of especially overachievers, they don't even give themselves time for downtime, because that downtime, they're saying to themselves, oh, fuck, I got to do some other stuff right now. I shouldn't be spending this hour doing nothing. I should find something else to do. Not realizing that that time off is a sacred time off. You're recharging your inner battery so that when you go back to what it is that you wanted to do, you have new insights, new ways of doing it, implementing new ideas. And that's where, and you know what, as a matter of, by doing this, some stuff has happened to me, especially since I moved into my new place. And I went into a box that I haven't opened up in 35 years, maybe even more. And I started putting up all these photos. I'm in this room right now of me when I did plays off Broadway. I forgot all about this stuff. I thought my ex-wife threw them out when we got divorced. But I had these boxes. And now this stuff that I created and I wrote, I was telling Debbie this. In 1979, 80, and 81, I wrote a lot of songs, a lot of music. A lot of people say my music is really, really good, but I never did anything about it. I just left it. Now, all of a sudden, because I'm following my heart and I'm doing what I want to do, when I want to do it, I'm getting phone calls from people. I got a phone call from a friend of mine I haven't seen in 50 years. I graduated with him in high school. He's a songwriter. He lives in Nashville, Tennessee, and he writes songs for a lot of the country music stars. I told him about what I'm doing, and I said, I have these songs. He said, why don't you come down? And I'm finally going down to visit him at some point in November. I'm going to spend 2 weeks at his place in the studio. We're going to record the songs. He's going to publish them for me. He's going to send them to the country. Believe it or not, I'm from New York, but I write country music. So that's kind of weird. And so that just came about out of nowhere. And my opening act when I did stand-up, who was a major sitcom writer, I'm not going to mention his name because I know he won't want me to, and he has a major sitcom that's out now. I told him about my idea about Conversations with Bob, the TV show. He loves it. I'll be doing a Zoom thing with him in about a week and a half. And this stuff is just falling. It's coming to me now. And that's not a coincidence, guys. No, that's not awesome. A coincidence at all. And it's just a good feeling that I'm doing something. Yeah, I put energy into it, but the things that I don't want to do, I don't do. And even though if I know it has to be done, I will get someone else to do it for me. And that's where I am at this point in my life, because worth ethic and maxing out and getting to the point and stressing yourself out, I don't know. It could hurt you in some way if you're not careful.
Now, one of the ladies like to speak up first.
I was just thinking the same thing. We'd like to hear one of the ladies throw an opinion out there.
I think I just love how I hope you guys can hear me okay.
Perfect.
It's good. Okay. I just love how Steve always talks about me. Like you're like everything you say is like so just goes to my heart because that's where I am, and it just aligns with where I am too. But here's what I think when I think about how do we max out, I think about the place that we need to be. If you would put Teodora into, let's say, I don't know, like a place that doesn't fit her, she would not be able to max out. And I don't want to, speak low of this place, but if you ask me to go be at the Taco Bell window, I don't think I would be able to max out in that job because I just wouldn't like being there. So I think when we think about where and how do we max out, I think we have to make sure that our calling is fulfilled, that we know who we are, what we like, what do we want to do with this life, and go that direction, and then everything is going to align according with all the things and all the points that the other speakers said before. Everything is going to align and fall into place. But if it's not what our calling is, and if it's not what we want to do, we would never be able to max out because it doesn't fit who we are. I think that's what I think when if we were to talk about how do we max out, we have to be in the place that fits our soul, our purpose, our desire, and then we just go for it, and then we just give it all because it's what we want to do, and we are able to max out that way because it's what we want to do.
Yeah, well,
I gotta say something. Wait a minute. Lynn, could you bring up the big shot of Teodora again?
Yes, absolutely.
Just bring up the big shot and everybody take a look. Teodora, if you were to start singing Somewhere Over the Rainbow right now, it just looks like the perfect backdrop. The trees, the houses, the sky.
I don't know how to turn the camera around, but on the other side of me, it's a beautiful. I'm actually going to turn the
beautiful.
It's a
wow.
beautiful view. And it just happens to be at this gorgeous park area. I'm almost playing tennis, and I just walk around, and so it's amazing. Yes.
Beautiful, just like you.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, it just popped into my head. I saw the background. I'm like, somewhere over the rain. I just saw it happening right there in front of me.
Colorado's beautiful these days.
It's the way my mind maxes out in stupid stuff.
Debbie or Flo, would you like to talk next?
Sure.
Sure.
So
go for it. Funny because Scott, I saw her with an umbrella like Mary Poppins.
Yes.
I'm with you. I do that too. I go off the rails a little bit.
You see, this is how we all see it, different ways. This is case in point.
Yeah. So the way I feel about this, and after listening to all these brilliant minds, I'm so blessed to be here. Because I really didn't even know what I was going to say. I wanted to listen to everyone else. But, for me, it's being self-aware enough to know what brings us joy and knowing what we're good at and how we can maximize our success while doing what brings us joy. So, maxing out doesn't mean stressing out. Maximizing our success by doing what we enjoy, because life's short. And like Steve said, all of a sudden we're going to be looking back saying, why didn't I publish those songs? Which I don't have any to publish, but everybody better get their cowboy boots ready because we're going to follow Steve down to Nashville to a sponsor. But I really feel like letting go of control is another huge issue for people not allowing themselves to maximize their success, because like Rex said, and we should have called this how do we Rex out? We're going to Rex out. How do let go of the control of what you think how this should go to reach where you need to be. Let go of the control and put the action behind what you want to do, but then be flexible enough to understand that God has other plans for us. Sometimes what we think we want is not as good as what he's going to give us. So stay the course.
So well.
Let go of that control. And I'm still learning that. And now it's the mic drop. Lynn gave me I'm watching you, Lynn. I got it. And that's all I have to say.
Well, I'd like to add to that if I can. Even if I can't, I'm going to say it anyway.
Where's the mute button? No, just kidding.
This, and I think you guys have heard me say this before, but just tagging on to what Debbie just said so perfectly, we got to really watch out sometimes, because we get caught up. And sometimes what you think you want in life isn't necessarily what you need to be happy. For the most part, what you want feeds your ego. What you need feeds your soul. And every now and then you got to take a time out and ask yourself, which one am I feeding now? Because if you get caught up in that other one, it can drain the shit out of you, man. It could exhaust you in every way that you can possibly imagine. And you can get so caught up in it that you're not even aware of what's happening to you. So it's a matter of checking in on yourself, recharge your inner battery, feed that sacred valued part of yourself, whatever that may be. Walking through a park like Teodora is doing right now, or just spending time with your dogs, your pet, your grandchildren, or just reading a book. Stop the stress. Stop saying, I got to do this and I don't have enough time and I got to get this done sometimes. You just, man.
Yeah.
I just want to very quickly chime in. I think, what did people do 500 years ago if they had a problem?
They weren't on the internet.
Well, there was no internet. They didn't have all these self-help gurus or psychologists. They might go to a mystic or a priest, if they had to, or a shaman or something like that. But pretty much they either worked in the garden, or they went out and danced, or they played, or they didn't. They had to take care of it somehow, and to the extent that they could either let go of it or triumph over it or something. But I suspect, part of why people are so screwed up today is because of with all due respect, because of psychiatry and psychology and medicine. And, there's just so much overthinking and over-treating and overdoing and over-coddling and we think they're empowering people, but a lot of it is disempowering people. It's taking their power away by making them victims of something in their past or some process inside themselves, and saying, you know what? You're a living, thriving organism, and you're working perfectly well, even if you have a disability or a deficit in some fashion. You're incredible. Now take that part of you that's incredible and live your life as best you can, and let's focus on that, and not on all the reasons why you're broken or you're not here. So I just think that the modern, again, this has to do with being chronocentric and egocentric, and the kind of meaning we put to things. Is we live in a day and age where there are probably a whole lot more problems than there are people, because we keep perpetuating the problem, and coming up with another disorder, another disease, or another something to treat, or another pill to push, or something. And our thought leaders or self-help gurus oftentimes are as much a problem as anything else. So,
yeah, if not more so. Absolutely.
I concur.
They're leading us down in the abyss. We still got to hear from Bob and Flo too.
And which I'm going to ask Bob. Should Flo go after you or before you? I'm leaving that up to you, Bob. I think she wants to go after you.
Bob and Flo sounds like a TV show.
I know.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
Flo, you want to go first? My beautiful friend,
because
go for it.
Bob,
because I'm taking what Bob is. He teaches.
Oh,
You guys are a great couple. I love you guys.
He teaches to be your best self. So that's what I thought. How do we max out? Is to be our best self. And when Barry, when you were talking, it reminded me of a cartoon that I saw when I was little. It was a Dennis the Menace cartoon, and it was Dennis there, and he was looking at his dog, and his friend said, "Gosh, Ruff is like us." And the cat, whatever the cat's name was, and Dennis the Menace, he's more like the adults. And I just always remembered that. And so I thought, we do take life a little bit seriously like a cat, but sometimes a cat could care less.
yeah, that's good and bad with that, right? Yeah.
Right.
I love that analogy.
Barry, thanks for reminding Flo of a cartoon.
Yeah. You guys were thinking of Somewhere Over the Rainbow with Theodora, so I thought.
I love you, beautiful Flo.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
You're the best. Dun, dun, dun. If you slide over,
Dun,
Bob,
dun, dun.
slide over, Bob. There you are.
There we go.
Yay!
You know, the subject for me is when I sometimes when I speak, I'll ask the audience, who here believes they're operating from a level 10 at a level 10 in every area of their life, spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally, you name it, financially. And if I have a group of 100 people or more, there will always be at least one that says, me, I'm operating in level 10 in all those areas. And it'll always be a male. It's never a female. And the funny thing
Thank
is,
you for saying that.
and it's funny because what I'll do is I'll often say, so in financially, you're operating great, and physically, emotionally, yes. And I'll say, is it possible that you set your standard a little low? Because see, I believe that maxing out is very, very, very subjective.
Yes.
Based on and based on the person and at that given moment. See, I believe that when we max out in one thing, that's not the max. That's just the max out for that moment. Maybe just even that hour it's maxed out. It's kind of like lifting weight. You lift 100, 150 pounds, you max out at 150 pounds, 150 pounds, 100. Well, guess what? In a week, 150 pounds isn't the max anymore.
That's right.
Well, if we're doing things right, I don't believe we will ever max out.
Ooh,
I think we'll constantly be evolving. We'll constantly be evolving. So setting the standard too low, I think, is really a big thing for me. And just realizing that our point is to continually push that envelope, to raise that bar for ourselves. It has nothing to do. It's not subjective to anyone else's max out. And comparison is a fast track to misery. So we have to get rid of that notion. But the notion is we're comparing to who we are today and what's our max going to be in the next moment.
Ooh,
I love that. Boom. Mic drop.
Boom.
Again, Bob, love you too. That, and again, that's why this is called As We All See It, because everybody has a different perspective and we all can touch and relate in different ways.
Right. And everybody is wrong and I'm right.
There's always got to be one in the crowd, people. I just found him.
Or vice versa.
He's in a moment of his max out. He's maxed out right now.
It's Scott, Josie, what you got to say about that?
I'm just looking at all the personalities here in the backgrounds, and it's like Scott Schilling looks like he's on an episode of Dateline with his background, and Steve looks like he broke into the improv and is using their brick wall.
How did you know that?
Bob might as well just be holding a prison number with that background. And me, I'm the guy's like, hey, it's so nice he decorated his mom's basement. We all have our personalities. Listen, we're all different. Bob stole my thunder on some of that stuff, but I'm always, whenever I have a thought and then Bob kind of like brings it out before me, it's actually it's really kind of neat. It's nice and it pisses me off. As far as the maxing out, to me, it's there is no maxing out. There is, what am I doing that is maximizing where I'm at today? And that's really what it is. And there's a couple of pieces to that. First of all, is it about me or is it about something somebody assigned to me? I spent my whole life believing I was less than, burying myself in alcohol, drugs, misery, and suicidal tendencies because everything told me that I was not. I was a Jones and I couldn't even keep up with the Joneses. Okay. It was because I listened to everything around me. I listened to the cacophony of noise, a symphony of people just saying, you're not good enough and you're never going to be good enough. You're not handsome. You're not smart enough. You're not fast enough. And so I adopted all these limitations. Truth is, they weren't put upon me. They were hung in front of me, and I gladly grabbed them and turned them into my clothes, and I wore them. Myself, my choice. And it wasn't until I started to see the possibility, and luckily I saw it in other people. I was around other people enough to watch other people succeed and saying, "But why not me? Why not me?" And then I started figuring out who I was and what my success was going to be. As far as my maximizing, here's the thing. In my yesterday, today is 100%. In my yesterday was 50%. My tomorrow is going to be 1,000%. And there's always going to be more. There's always going to be something different that I'm looking at. Mm-hmm. But it's all got to be, it's all got to be authentic and it's all got to be true. I'm never going to max out being Scott Schilling. I'm not going to be that guy, and I can't be that guy. I'm never going to be Bob. I'm certainly not without a great deal of operations am I ever going to be Debbie. And and
are you announcing something, Scott?
We've seen Caitlin try that. It ain't pretty. It's not me. I can only be the best me I can be, and I can only stop throwing those limitations in my way. The thing is that I don't have to do a maximum effort each day to be a whole Scott. Because there's days when my maximum effort is to get up and do some self-care and sit and read a book or do a crossword puzzle and drink coffee and say, you know what, screw it. I'm going to mow the lawn tomorrow. Today's my day. And that is a maximum effort in taking care of me. It's not always this move forward. I've got to win a prize every day. I don't have to do that. I don't want to do that. My life used to be, as long as I'm doing that, I'm still running the rat race with everybody else. I don't want to be there. Walt Disney said something about, be the best and the most unique person you could be. So that if anybody wants what you have, they have to come to you to get it. And I love that. I just need to be me. And it's been working really well in my life so far. And I keep exploring more. And you know what? It's a never ending discovery. And I keep finding these limitations that I used to put on myself. And every once in a while, I'll kind of go to my closet and I'll say, there's a coat of limitations I used to wear. I can throw that away because it doesn't apply to me anymore. I can throw it away. I'm going to donate that. Somebody down the street's going to want those limitations. I don't need it anymore. My favorite story is the Bannister effect. I'm sure everybody's familiar with that, which is it's not a true story, but it is the idea that nobody thought they could run a 4-minute mile until Roger Bannister ran a 4-minute mile. Then after that, everybody was capable of running a 4-minute mile. That's how I think of my life. It's like things are only a limitation until I find a way around it or through it. And me finding a way around or through anything is entirely up to me. Nobody limits me. Nobody. I'm sorry.
Nobody puts baby in the corner.
Thank you. Nobody puts baby in the corner. That's right. I want to get up there and dance with Patrick Swayze.
And speaking of not putting anybody in the corner, but we're at the wrap up section, and I want Scott Schilling. I want Hipster to
hippie shake.
So what do you want to say before that, Scott?
Well, no, what
Jonesy?
First of all, Jonesy, very astute, and congratulations. Totally agree with what you just said there. I mean, that's what it really is. There's no max limit. It's giving it the effort that fulfills you in that day. There's such an astute panel here. Everything that was said is so dead on, and things are slightly different, but they're very much the same as well. I mean, it's not about the achievement of something. It's about living happier. And again, I've referred to it a couple times, but not this week, but with 2 new hips, it's like a whole new life. It's like, oh my God, I can walk again. Novel concept, right? What can I do if I could walk? It's like, I feel like a kid again. And I'm being goofy and silly, and it's like, and yes, Scott, this does look like Nightline, and you'll never see it again. Damn it! So you just pissed me off. I love it. But no, I mean it's. But the fact is, it's fun, and I'm honored to be on with so many great minds and people with great perspectives here, with so much different experience. And nobody's saying, oh, by the way, yours is BS, bad strategy. It's everybody's answer is the exact right answer for them, and that's freaking awesome. So thank you for the opportunity.
Scott, both of you guys, I just took a picture of the panel because I wonder how the backgrounds will be going forward.
Maybe next week we'll talk about insecurities, people. What do you think?
Does it start with
I don't have one, but let's talk about yours, Scott.
In the basement.
Oh my gosh. I just love the banter here. I love it. Let's Teodora, would you like to go next, my beauty?
Sure. I want to tell you a story.
Okay.
How I maxed out yesterday. So Sunday night, a pipe broke in my basement, a water pipe. And me, like adventurous and crazy Romanian, I went down there and I said, oh, I can fix it. So I put whatever pipe fixed packet came in, and I turned the water off and I said, okay, we're going to let it cool and everything's going to be okay. The next morning, yesterday morning, I go in the basement to turn the main water pipe on. And of course, the hole in the pipe leaks and it's not fixed. So I don't panic. I'm okay. I take Alma to school. I go back home and I'm thinking, what am I going to do? I collect my thoughts. I was scared as heck. And I thought, even if I have to call somebody, a plumber, to come fix it, it's going to take a while. Might as well do it myself. So I went to the store. I bought all the tools that I needed. I cut the pipe. I installed, I don't know if anybody saw, I posted on Facebook, but I installed two, they're called shark bites. And it didn't work because I was not strong enough. I didn't have the physical ability to push the pipe into the connector so that it locks in. And what it took was for my daughter to come home and tell me, of course you can do it. That's all it took. I went in the basement, I pushed the pipe, I screamed, I put all my, and that was my maxed out moment when I realized that it takes the ones that it takes somebody when we can't do it anymore and we are at the end of the rope. It takes somebody to says, oh, of course you can do it. And it's literally that simple for us to max out. But the secret is to never give up. And when we don't give up, we can max out in what we put our mind to because it's what we want. I love you guys, and I'm so honored to be here.
Oh, Teodora. Love you, Teodora. Yay!
Teodora the plumber. I love it.
I know, right?
Are you wearing a belt?
And then I inspected my furnace and I made sure that the filter is clean because I don't want to be an electrician today. I wanted to be a financial coach, not a plumber or anything like that.
Are we using plumber in the fix-it terminology, or are we using it the way the mafia would have used it?
Hey, was that an Italian joke?
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
Sicilian, Steve.
It actually wasn't a joke.
Just saying, I want to know because someone will be knocking on your door in a matter of minutes.
Yeah. Just go write your country song. Ring of Fire around a burned out Chevy on Fifth Avenue. You're going to mix up New York with the country. It's going to be perfect.
Oh my gosh.
No, my new country song that I'm wrote that I gave to this guy is "You picked a fine time to leave me, you bitch."
Oh my God. Is that how you're closing your statement?
That's it. That's all I got to say. You got a problem with that?
Oh my gosh, I love it. No, you'll still get another chance, Steve-O.
Who's
Barry.
closing out? Who's closing? There you go,
Barry's
Barry.
next.
Boy, I'm sure I'd follow that. I think that we talked about again, and I'll come back to the word play that I used earlier because we do take life so frigging seriously. And what Teodora said about the fact she took her daughter's encouragement to raise the bar of her skills to be strong enough to actually fix the plumbing herself, that's a reminder right there that we all have that skill. And that's the thing, is that we can be the cheerleader for each other. And also we can receive, that's the other part, receive cheerleading from other people, because oftentimes we don't let it in. But I was thinking about that earlier, about the fact that there's a friend of mine who I've been talking to just to give her some encouragement because she was going through some stuff. And I just gave her some positive encouragement. And she feels so much better. And it's not like I'm controlling, but the idea we can add value by that way. So we can help other people max out by playing with them and by being supportive, by being an encouragement, and then let it in as well. Because we're all one big family. So let's stay in connection.
I love that. Mr. Rexter, you're next.
Ta-da, I got unmuted. What did you want me to say?
In closing, anything you'd like to about our topic?
Final thoughts.
Well, it's neither this nor that, so celebrate everything.
I love that. And so he's celebrating that we're almost done. Mr. Bob Donnell.
I love what everyone has said so far about the the final thoughts. My final thought would be the power of association. If we're going to truly max out on anything, it's going to be a collective effort. Encouraging one another, surrounding yourself with the right people. And I think one of the biggest things is to surround yourself with people that won't let you get away with thinking a 5 is a 10.
Yeah.
Amen. Amen. I love that. Miss Flo?
I just want to say thank you, guys. It's been enlightening today, and always come away with something about how we don't fight for our limitations and we don't compare ourselves to anybody else. So I really like that. So thanks, guys.
Yeah.
I love that. And Miss Debbie Bettendorf.
Yeah, my closing thoughts. I really just appreciate everyone's thoughts, and I'll probably watch this back to listen to it again and take notes because it's just amazing. So really, I don't have anything else to say except it did strike me when Teodora shared her story, because there are times, because we're human, that we dig deep, and sometimes we're maxed out in the opposite direction, right? We're just like, oh, I'm toast. I can't do it. And someone in your corner, the right people, will be there to say, you've got this. And it breathes life into you. So, pick your people. Make sure you're with the people who will breathe life into you and not suck the life out of you.
Oh, she dropped 2 mics on that one.
Amen.
If I can add to it, Debbie said, I really appreciate that too. And that is that Teodora said, I can fix it. I can do this. And she at least attempted it. And ultimately she did it. But, she could have gone, oh, crap, now my day is ruined and everything is, crap. And, but I love it. I'm Romanian. I could take care of this.
And now she's
we love you, Teodora. That comes with lots of love.
Yeah,
but it's so true. It's the fact that Romanian people fix everything.
So we've got Bob the closer and Teodora the fixer. Somebody's got to be the cleaner
and the plumber.
And the plumber. There you go.
Now I'm having one of the closers almost be closer here, and then Mr. Steve Rizzo. Your final words.
I think it's important for us all, when you're on your road to success, not to compare yourself to other people's achievements, because when you do that, you are not maxing out. You run a very strong risk of burning out.
Ooh, yeah.
Yes.
That's all. That's all I have to say about that. Lieutenant Diane, ice cream.
So Jonesy,
I'm not finished yet.
Oh, okay. You paused for a minute. I was taking it in. Go for it, Steve.
Finished. I'm done. I'm out of here. I have to say this. I love you guys. I really do. I have such open honesty here. It's such a great feeling. Yeah. Every time I turn off and I always take this deep breath. It's because I'm naked from the waist down, but
okay.
No, I do. I take
we all just got a visual. I was like,
too much information.
Let's bring the camera back a little bit, so just in case he moves, we're not upset.
Shut up, or I'll stand. I swear to God, I will. Well, no, really. I always get this great feeling after one of these episodes here, and it's a great feeling, and I love you all, and I wish you all the best. And it would be cool sometime if we could all meet together somewhere. I think that would be great.
Right, I agree. We must be your people, Steve.
Be a hell of a live summit.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I was going to say, there's no reason why we can't have a summit live or otherwise.
Yes.
Wouldn't that be cool? Think about that. That would be a great idea.
Absolutely. That's something to strive for next year, for sure.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. And 4 and 5 of us will be together next month. I'm super excited. Same time zone.
And I'm not going to be like I was with Arnold. I'm totally going to get selfies with.
Well, we're going to be live in 3 weeks from there, you guys, because it'll be a Tuesday. Hopefully, yeah. So we will It will be an interesting.
And Debbie, you and I have our show this Thursday.
This Thursday.
And tomorrow is
10. Hey, I'm talking here. Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yep.
Did you say eating and standing time?
Eating and standing.
Thursday, 7. I'll tell the jokes, all right, Rex?
Okay. Which, hey,
all right, I'm just letting you know.
And Rex, you want to congratulations on the awards your movie's getting, and soon it'll be some other places. So
yeah, it was pretty surprising. It got like 10 awards, and I didn't get one, but people who deserved them did, and so that was truly, truly wonderful.
Wow. I know you just wanted to be a walk-on, show up, and say I'm here. No, just kidding.
Yeah, no. I haven't seen the movie yet, so I couldn't answer that. But I'm very pleased that the people who were nominated. I mean, I don't know how many. They got like 10 awards. I don't know if they were nominated for 10 awards and got 10, or if they were nominated for 50 and got 10. But they got 10 awards, so it's very cool.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Great.
So Jonesy,
I'm just blown away by all of you guys as always. Humbled that you guys would spend your time with us and more importantly share your truth with everybody. And the beautiful thing is truth just travels. And Teodora, I'm so proud of you. I mean, the plumbing thing, that's great. Not many people know Super Mario was Romanian. They don't know that. They think he was Romanian.
It was,
but you know what? That reminds me, is like we've got damn few tools in our toolbox to get us through life. We've got ourselves, we've got our humor, we've got our hope, we've got our faith, we've got friends, but these are very few tools in a whole big world to build a life out of. We have to use every one of them. We have to use every one of them to its highest capacity every time we pull a tool out. And if we have tools that don't serve us, we let them go and we get new tools. And just every day, do something that serves your life. And that's the maximum that you need. You know, I can't live Debbie's life. I can't live Steve's life. And boy, I'd be scared as hell to live Rex's life. Just all the stuff he has going on. But I could live Scott's life, and I could be Scott like no one else could be Scott. And when I look around, I say, okay, I'm not Fabio. And he's changed his name now to Flavio. But I'm not Flavio. I'm not the smartest guy. I'm certainly not the richest guy. I did have lunch with Richard from Virgin Airlines. Richard Branson. Yeah. I had lunch with him one time. Actually, we ended up at the same restaurant. He sat at the table next to mine. And I thought I would say something very clever to him so I could connect with this man. And I thought this was going to be a big moment in my life. And all I said was, hey, we ordered the same sandwich. He got up and moved. He got up and moved because we both got the tuna melt. I mean, fantastic, wonderful, blown opportunity. But you know what? That's not my opportunity, is to sit with Richard Branson. My opportunity is to sit with my children. My opportunity is to sit with my family and the people that I love. My opportunity is to talk to you guys. Those were my opportunities in my life. Stop looking for opportunities that aren't part of me. Be the best you can be. I've stood at the abyss and I've watched people stand at the abyss and look down and see nothing. And I've seen people fall into the abyss, my wife being one of them. I don't ever want to see anybody do that again. Don't lose hope. Don't lose faith. Don't lose the power that you have to make every moment different and better and great, no matter what the outcome. You're right. There is no failures. There's only the failure to show up. So people, show up for your lives and enjoy the ride. Enjoy the ride. That's all I can say. I love you guys. You guys are awesome.
I want to add that Richard Branson blew his opportunity to sit next to you.
Yeah.
Yes.
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 You know what? And you know what? Use the tools. Use your tools. Don't be a tool.
Yeah,
don't be a tool.
Don't be a tool. Yeah. And don't be a fool.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Don't be a fool. Cover your tool.
Yeah.
Mr. Guy.
Says the guy who's not wearing his pants right now. Thank you very much.
Cover your tool. Is that what Steve just said?
Yeah. And cover your tool.
I'm sorry.
That's what we said.
Lynn, you get the final word. We need a moment of sanity from Lynn.
You know,
we laugh like that's not going to happen. Give it your best shot, Lynn.
No, I do. I'm so very appreciative that you guys every week show up and you're here, and it's an honor to produce the show, be a part of the show. And I'm just really excited and humbled. I mean, if I never reached out, we wouldn't be here. And again, you never know till you do it. And so I love all you guys. This is just great. And I just hope you guys have a great week till next week. And again, thank you, Steve Rizzo, Debbie Bettendorf, Bob Donnell, Barry Selby, Flo Mina, and Rex Sikes, and Teodora Moga, and Mr. Scott Jones as Jonesy, and I'm Lynn Serrano. And soon these will be up on podcast. And I will notify you guys when that happens here. So again, thanks for being here, and say goodbye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Keeping me safe.